If you're a high performer, there's a moment in your career that feels deeply confusing. You're still sharp, still capable, still producing. But suddenly, hard work stops feeling rewarding. Most people assume the problem is internal. I'm burned out. I'm losing motivation. Maybe I'm just tired. That explanation sounds responsible, but look closer. Because the effort is still there, the results are still there, the output hasn't dropped. What disappeared is meaning. And in this video, I'll show you why this happens. When high performers hit a structural ceiling inside time-based income systems. Because once you see the pattern, you stop blaming motivation and start understanding structure. This pattern usually appears first with high performers, not because they work less, because they work more, they solve more problems, take on more responsibility, deliver more outcomes, which means they encounter the limits of a system faster than everyone else. You're doing the work, projects, meetings, targets, results. The numbers show up, but your position doesn't change. Your calendar is full, yet nothing feels like it's advancing. Every week looks like the last one. That's not laziness, that's effort without leverage. You perform well. The baseline resets. You have a strong month. Expectations increase. You push harder. The ceiling stays fixed. At some point, your brain notices the pattern. And once your brain recognizes a pattern, it stops rewarding effort that doesn't change anything. This dynamic has a name. The effort trap. The effort trap happens when a system allows effort, but not compounding. Every win resets. Every result disappears into the next cycle. Progress becomes maintenance. There are two kinds of systems: reset systems and compounding systems. Reset systems reward effort in the moment. Compounding systems reward effort over time. In reset systems, each month starts from zero. In compounding systems, each result builds on the previous one. Humans are naturally motivated by compounding. When effort stacks, motivation increases. When effort resets, motivation fades. Imagine two different careers. Career A, you work hard, you perform well, but every quarter the scoreboard resets. Career B, you work hard, but each result creates reputation, relationships, opportunities. Over time, the outcomes compound. That difference is the difference between a time-based system and an outcome-based system. If you want to see which system you're in, ask yourself 3 questions. Question 1. Do your wins stack or reset? Question 2. Does your effort today make next year easier? Or does it simply repeat the cycle? Question 3. If you stopped working for a month, would anything continue growing? If the answer is no, your effort may be trapped inside a reset structure. If this framework helped clarify something, save this video. You may want to revisit these questions later. Motivation rarely disappears because people become lazy. It disappears when progress stops compounding, when nothing stacks, when effort exists inside a structural ceiling. Your brain stops celebrating what doesn't scale. That's not burnout, that's pattern recognition. Some industries operate almost entirely as reset systems. Others allow operating leverage, where relationships compound reputation, compounds results scale over time. That's where revenue scaling happens. Real estate is one example of that structure, not because it's easy, but because outcome-based systems allow performance to compound. One relationship can affect years of outcomes. One deal can change a month, and reputation can compound across an entire career. Once people see that difference, they evaluate work very differently. I'm curious about something. In your current work, does your effort mostly compound or reset? Write one word in the comments. I read every single one. Because in the next video, we're going to talk about something many high performers misunderstand. The feeling they call burnout, when in reality, it's something else entirely. The problem isn't exhaustion, it's mismatch. And once you see the difference, you stop blaming yourself and start analyzing the system. If you want to understand how leverage-based careers actually work, subscribe to the channel, because this series is about one transition, moving from effort-based income to leverage-based income. I'll see you in the next video.